The beginning. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I know typically I'm in a live stream on Monday afternoon, evening kind of time, whatever time this is. I guess I'm used to streaming at 9:00 p.m. So we are filling in for Patrick today from Zippity Doo Dad while he is enjoying some much deserved family time.
Absolutely.
Patrick actually will be back streaming next week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is this current time right now. But it's so exciting because he really deserves so much of his family time. And today we're going to be talking about Disney. We're talking about pins and Galaxy's Edge because it's been 1 year of Galaxy's Edge. And then also Ryan has a Disney trip coming up. So also we have a very special guest, Ryan McDowell here. Ryan, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone. I don't know that I'm special, but I'm here.
Definitely you're special. It's very exciting to have you here. It's Sam, hello, welcome. Caitlin, Make It Blue, Captain Akron, hello. Rob Fuzz, thanks guys so much for being here. I know that, Nick is streaming and Brandy and Dave were just streaming. And so I totally would want to watch the Food and Wine Festival as well. But we're going to be talking a little bit about Disney today. And Ryan has a trip coming up. So I want to hear all about it. And I guess we could start with that because there's no better news than a Disney trip. So
yeah, no, it's exciting coming up. We're currently on a vacation or hiatus from normal life, and we're at the beach currently right now, and it rolls into Labor Day, and we kind of just like let's add a Disney on the back end of it since we got the AP, and so it all worked out, and we're going for 3 days, and we had to narrow it down since there's 4 parks, and we got 3 days. We're doing Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom. So it's probably
really? You're not going to do Hollywood Studios?
No, I mean Animal Kingdom's probably our favorite, and you've got to throw in Magic, and then we just love hopefully they're doing I think they're doing the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, it just started today.
So that's kind of where our mind went there, and we might have a trip planned at the end of September leading into October. So we probably will throw a Hollywood Studios in there then.
Good. I mean, there's so many awesome things like Galaxy's Edge that we are going to talk about today.
Right.
But I feel like for me, Magic Kingdom will always 100% be my favorite park, no matter what. I think that is the embodiment of what Disney is.
Yep.
But then Hollywood Studios is just like creeping up. And I didn't used to be a huge fan of that park. When MGM, there you go, Rob. MGM. But, I think it's gotten a lot better. There was just
a lot better.
I think that it's kind of in the spot that Epcot is in right now. And Nick Gates, welcome. Strive to Do Better. Hello. Welcome. So I think that Epcot is undergoing so many different renovations right now. And it's hard to like a park when there are just walls up there and, half the rides are closed. And Hollywood Studios was there for quite some time of just doing renovations. And now we have Galaxy's Edge and we have Toy Story Land and so many other cool things. So yeah.
I mean, as far as like a rides park, I would say Hollywood Studios right now has got to be up front and center. Yeah.
I mean, the new rides are crazy. Have you gotten to go on any of the new rides?
I have. The only one we haven't done, and in our last trip was Mickey's Runaway Mickey. It opened up 2 days after we left.
Oh no!
So that's the only one we haven't done. I mean, we've done Rise of the Resistance Ride. I forget. I'm bad with names sometimes, but we
Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, Slinky Dog. I mean, we love Slinky Dog. We always laugh the whole way through it, and then when he's like, "Hang on,
hang on."
But we love Hollywood Studios. But it was kind of like we had to go to we had to throw in Epcot. It was going to be between that and Epcot. We couldn't imagine not doing Epcot.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, welcome. Yeah, I think it's hard to differentiate between the mood that you're in, whether you want to do rides or you want to do food / beverages or, whatever you want to do. Usually I'm in much more of a ride / attractions mood. I don't drink very much. you know, and very rarely. The only times I really drink is when we go to Oga's Cantina, which, yes, I would have a drink there.
Are you a fuzzy tauntaun girl?
Oh, the fuzzy tauntaun. Yes, I got that twice. It was so good.
You're like, what's happening to my lips?
I know. I was like, what is this? And
I didn't read it the first time we did it. I was just like, I'm freaking out here. This is a little bit weird.
So Strive to Do Better says, Runaway Mickey, LOL. I haven't done that yet, or Rise of the Resistance next month officially. That's so cool. You're gonna love both of them. I've had the privilege of getting to go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Rise of the Resistance 2 times. So 100%, so worth it. Brian says I still haven't ridden Rise of the Resistance. I did get to ride Smuggler's Run during cast previews. That's pretty cool. All the rides in Hollywood Studios now are just so cool. Like you said, Slinky, hang on.
Yeah. Hey Meg, are you the type when a ride opens and you haven't made it there yet? Like, will you watch like somebody else go through it, or do you want to kind of be surprised and you won't watch it?
I think it depends on the ride. So for me, for Rise of the Resistance, I did not watch anything. I tried to avoid any live streams that, like, so say Josh and Jenna were live streaming. I would just sort of like cover the screen and only watch the chat so I could still moderate but not ruin anything for me. Hey Mike, welcome. And for other ones, like, I kind of want to know what I'm getting myself into, because I think, you know, other people have talked about it. Sometimes I get vertigo when I get off rides, so
right,
or like in rides. So I want to make sure that it works for me. And so for the most part, I would say it's split half and half of whether or not I want to be, you know, ready for the ride and surprised, or I just want to know everything about it.
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's been hard to miss Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. You know, a lot of times when some of the guys and gals are streaming, but I haven't sat down and watched it the whole way through. Oh. And so, like, I wanted to leave that a little surprise, because, like, I mean, we watched Rise of the Resistance a ton, and I mean, I knew what was coming up, but it's still, I mean, it was still a lot of fun when you write it, but you knew what was coming up. But I've kind of tried to leave the Mickey's Runaway Railway ride. That's a tongue twister sometimes.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You have to say it like 5 times fast too.
Oh yeah, my wife says, like, say it 10 times and then you'll know it. I don't think we have time for that here.
So Brian says, Meg Ashley loved the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay. Yes, I did. I'm like looking to see if I have any of my Haunted Mansion ears around, and I don't, but I have Oogie Boogie ears on. So yeah, that is, I think, my favorite ride of like all time. 100%. Like, it was amazing. Hey Avery, welcome.
Well, hey, wait, Rise of the Resistance your favorite ride, or
no? So have you ever been to Disneyland?
I haven't. We were going to go this year if 2020 had happened.
2020, the year that, like, so no one ages, no one gets older, no one, you know, none of that happens. We just forget 2020 happened, and then
I'm game.
we continue on. I get to keep my degree. That'll work.
Yeah.
And my medals. I want to keep those too, and then we'll just get rid of the year. But we got to go to Disneyland in November of last year. So they do an overlay on the Haunted Mansion, and I think I'm pretty. Hey, Arjan's welcome. He says, hi from Epcot. Arjan's, I hope you enjoy the Food and Wine Festival, which is so weird that it's starting. It's starting now.
I love it.
Anyway, I love the Haunted Mansion. It is my favorite attraction, like, ever. And then in Disneyland in August, typically through December, the very beginning of January, they do an overlay of the Nightmare Before Christmas. And I know a lot of people know that I like the Nightmare Before Christmas as well. And it is just the coolest thing. I think the first day that we got there at Disneyland, we had gone on Haunted Mansion Holiday like 3 or 4 times, and our jaws were just like, we could not believe. Donna says hello. Hi, Donna. Just popping in to say hello.
I think Josh and Jenna went last year, and then they wrote it during the making the when they changed it over to Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy what they do on that ride.
Incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Like, I think I also have said it before, I'm not a huge fan of the Jungle Cruise. I think it really, really depends on your skipper.
Yes.
But it's a hit or miss for me. And I won't go out of my way to go on Jungle Cruise unless it's like a 10-minute wait and I'm waiting for another fast pass. I'll be like, I'll just go on the Jungle Cruise. But we can totally get rid of the Jingle Cruise and they can get it in Disneyland. And then we could get a Haunted Mansion holiday. Like, I think that would be really nice. Yeah, but all the new rides in Hollywood Studios are so awesome. And I guess that brings us, into Galaxy's Edge. So you have obviously been to Galaxy's Edge. You've done Smuggler's Run?
Yes. I guess the first time we went into Galaxy's Edge was I guess my 40th birthday trip when we went, and it was like late October, early November. And I mean, it was such an amazing park, and it takes your breath away. I mean, however many times you saw it from when the guys were there, this and that, and to like Resort TV and Corey, they all went. It's just one of those things that just took your breath away. Just like to see the Millennium Falcon like in full size there and ride Smuggler's Run, and they were everybody's like, I love the cast members there. They're so awesome because like my wife and I were riding Smuggler's Run, and they were like, we were like, how long is the line right now? And then she was like, 30 minutes, but she was like, there's nobody in the single rider line, so why don't y'all go ride that? And so we went on that, went through it. It took like 10 minutes to get back out. We came back out, and like we were just like, oh, that was fun. We want to do it again. It's like she's like, is a single rider? We were like, is the single riders line? Is it still short? She's like, actually, that one's kind of filled up. But hey, y'all got fast passes, right? And we were like, she's like, go ahead.
That's
like,
so nice.
I love it. I love it when cast members are like that. Just really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for birthday trips.
Yeah.
I went, where was I? When I turned 21, we went to Animal Kingdom, I think. Or maybe we're in Epcot because someone was saying, did you go to Mexico to get a margarita? And I was like, no. And then they gave me like 3 or 4 paper fast passes because they're like, it's your birthday, celebrate. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's so nice of you. And so if you tell anyone at Disney or any of the cast members that you're celebrating something, generally they will do something very special. We have been for the last couple of years, my mom and I have been doing like a girls trip where I treat her to so many days of being at Disney around Mother's Day. And this past time, she loves to see Fantasmic. It's like her favorite show. And so we did the Mama Melrose's Fantasmic dining package. And we've done it before, and I would highly, highly recommend it. But someone came, our waitress came by, and she saw that we were celebrating, and we were just super excited. We called my dad, and she brought us over 2 flutes of champagne. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
oh yeah,
that was so kind. And so just to have cast members go out of their way to do things like that is so sweet. And that makes it like a huge part of the experience of just being able to celebrate things and why Disney is so important to so many of us. But then that kind of brings us into another topic that, we'll dabble back and forth because that's how my brain works. But I love Disney pin trading. And part of it, I feel like, is because I get to talk to all the cast members. And I'm like naturally very introverted. I don't tend to talk to people randomly that I don't know because I think it's really scary. But I absolutely love talking to cast members. And for introverted people who want to start pin trading, it's a super easy way to introduce yourself to cast members and get to talk to them and be like, hey, can I just check out your pins really quick? Hey, Steve, welcome. Good luck playing softball. We will be rooting for you. But yeah, I absolutely love pin trading. Half of the reason because I love Disney pins.
Yes.
And then also because you get to hear about different cast member stories and what their favorite pins are. And yeah, it's just so much fun to talk to. But you haven't traded in the parks yet, right?
No, I hadn't. And I wrote down like the wife and I, she has probably about 4 or 5 pins, and like they're probably close to 20 years old. And so, and then the funny thing was I wrote down a couple notes here, and like Samantha Lowe like posted something today about a pin she got at Epcot, and I was just like, I absolutely got to get that pin. And I think she said it was at Pin Traders, like $15.99. And I was like, well, I got to get that pin. I need to get the Splash.
What was the pin? I kind of want to look up Sam's Instagram now.
It's just like the Epcot Oval and the Epcot retro letters, and it's like
cute.
it's very simple and whatnot. But I was just like, I mean, Epcot's my favorite, and so
Nice.
I need to go get that pin. I think she said it's at Pin Traders, and then I really do want a Splash Mountain pin.
Yeah, I think those are going to be hard to come by. Oh, Pete says I have questions that do not involve pins. Well, Pete, Pete, if you'd like to join us, feel free. Or you could also leave your question here in the chat. And Steve's going to hit a home run tonight, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not good
Meg,
at softball, so.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna agree with you earlier about being introverted. I'm a little bit introverted myself. I call myself introvertedly extrovert.
That is me, 100%. Like I think I said that the last time. Have you said that before?
Yes, I think I have. I explained myself that a lot. Like 2020 is fine. I was born to social distance and like
same. Oh my gosh. People, I have a few friends that are very welcome, Kelly. I have a few friends that are really extroverted, and they call me like 3 times, 4 times a week, and I'm like, do you really have to call me that many times? Like, can I just text you and like not have to talk to you? Because
I do love riding on the coattails of extroverts. I mean, it makes it easy. I mean, like you can take a back seat and have the fun that they'll provide, and like without having to be the center of attention. Like, so it's always good to have some extroverted friends, but like I'm introvertedly extroverted.
I love it. Also, welcome Lisa and Molly. Thanks for being here. And yes, Brian, I kind of agree with that for me as well. I'm an introvert that learned to be an extrovert. Steve is heading to the game, so have a great night, everyone. Good luck, Steve. I can't wait to hear about your home run. And also remind me to send the picture of my Lego thing, because I took one and I forgot to send it.
He got the Lego set that I would. I'm
oh my gosh, that Nintendo one. Looks so
cool. Yeah, I don't like. I love Legos. I'm not like Triple P or Steve, about Legos. I love Legos and I love watching their stuff, but I would love that set.
Oh, it looks so cool. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. But also, I've been waiting for this new AT-AT set to come out, and I'm like, oh, it's a lot. It's $160. I'm like, should I really spend my money on Lego or what? I'm the same way even with
the answer is yes.
I know, right? I'm like Disney pins or, being an adult or Lego or Disney. Like, what should I spend my money on?
Do what makes you happy.
Yes, and I usually do.
That's what gets me in trouble.
Yes, me too. And also, I'm just like, oh, that's pretty. I am literally Doug from Up. I'm like, oh, squirrel.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And then Avery said the Super Nintendo set is actually more expensive than the real Super Nintendo. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I loved Nintendo growing up. I mean, like I loved playing what was it, Kung Fu, Mike Tyson's Knockout, Mario Brothers. I mean, I loved Nintendo. I mean, it was everything. I remember my parents when we got it. My parents were hooked on it. And
oh really? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
My dad was staying up to like I think it was like 11:30 or 12. It was something late, and we were like kids and like in bed and like asleep. School the next day, and like we woke up. The whole family came downstairs because he got to this level nobody in the family had gotten to, and it was just fun memories like that. I loved Nintendo, but I didn't kind of go into being a big gamer, but like that was fun.
Yeah, those are the kind of memories that I have with my brother. Welcome, Kay. And I would just like sit and watch him play Ocarina of Time. And that is like one of my favorite games. I love that game so much. But just to be able to go back to, when I was a kid watching someone play this game, which is so ahead of its time. I feel like I never had a Super Nintendo or, an NES, but we had a Nintendo 64. That was our first console. And just was a huge Nintendo fan ever since. And I have like most of the Nintendo systems, and I have my Switch now. So I'm happy. I got that during quarantine because Animal Crossing was coming out, and I was like, well, I have to get Animal Crossing.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah. What else am I going to do with my time now, except put it into a simulation game?
Right.
Oh, Patrick's here. Hi, Patrick. Patrick is going to be going live again next week. He's enjoying some time with his family. So we love you, Patrick, and I hope you're having a great time on your vacation. And I hope that you get as tan as Ryan right now, because Ryan is really tan. I actually look like a ghost next to him.
I'm sorry. I probably should not be in the sun as much as I have been, but I mean, out on the beach, sometimes you can't hide.
Yeah. No, I have to hide sometimes, or else I'm either really pale or like pink from sunburn. So there's like no in between. And I actually don't even really get tan anymore. I just get freckles. And I mean, I know a lot of people can't see too well, but I have so many freckles on my face right now. And yeah, that's what happens in the summer. And then they go away a little bit. And then they come back every time I step out in the sun. But I had joked, I am a part of this like running fitness group that's like kind of Disney related. And we sometimes post about, what we're doing for fitness. And I found this really sparkly Instagram filter and I was like, I look like a vampire right now because I was in the dark and I looked so pale. I was like, oh, what have I been doing all summer? I was outside.
Actually, I've meant to ask you about that. I guess when I've seen you on the stream a couple times is so I know you're doing that virtual what do you call it? The princess
the wine and dine?
Well, yeah, it's the one the exercising or like running group that you were part of.
Oh, the Fairy God Runners.
Yes. And so like I've seen you out on walks and whatnot. My wife and I exercise, and like you've posted some like walking miles that are like paces that are incredible. And like so we keep track of our paces, and like, haven't you gotten into like the 15s or like the low 16s?
So my mom and I can walk. We've walked sub 15-minute miles.
Ooh, that's a light jog.
Yeah, she doesn't want to jog. When I was training for my dopey challenge, I was doing interval training between walking and running, and I was doing a little bit faster. I mean, I was doing faster miles than that, but it wasn't super fast because obviously if you're doing a marathon, I did not want to go that fast. But we're doing these virtual 5Ks. So I think the next one I want to try and actually do some running, because she was going to start training to do the half marathon with me, but she decided not to do it. And I opted not to do the Run Disney one, but I'm going to still do the virtual half marathon with all the ladies. And yeah, I'm going to actually have to start training now because I haven't been.
No, yeah, we get done, and I'm like, I don't know how she like walks that fast. Like,
I have really short legs too. I don't know if most people think that I'm really tall. Like the first time I met Richard in person, he was like, "Oh, you're shorter than I thought you'd be."
Oh, I can see him being that.
I'm like, wait, why? I don't think I look that tall in screen, but it's just because I'm in a box. But I have like short legs, so. I think it's more of my mom that really pushes me to walk faster. So
how tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
Okay, yeah, my mom's 5'3". I'm 6'2".
That's a big difference.
It's a foot.
You have because people who are taller obviously take longer strides, and therefore I feel like they're exerting less energy because they're taking longer strides. I don't know. It's just I have to take really short, quick strides to keep up with my mom.
Yeah. My wife is I think she's 5'8" or 5'9", and it's I do have to with her I do have to think about like, because if I kind of get my mind into it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start pushing it a little bit, like I'll leave her and I'll be like, I got longer legs, like less steps, like I got to keep that in mind, try to be respectful.
Yeah, it's hard to think about, especially if you're being competitive. Like my mom and I will always try and beat our other times. Like if we're trying to get back before a certain time too, because we do like a after party live stream, and people who participate in. Lisa says, "Wow, finally someone shorter than me. I'm only 5'3", Meg." Yeah, I don't know why everyone thinks I'm super tall. Anytime I've met someone in person, they're like, "Oh." You're not as tall as I thought you'd be. Like, well, it's the internet, so I'm not really sure how I could look tall on the internet. So, but that's nice. I actually know a few people that are shorter than me in this community, so that makes me feel good. Like Mama Mouse is shorter than me, and Cargo and Amy from AGC Magic is shorter than me. And
is that like a thing? Like when you meet like your fans or your friends in the parks and you haven't met them before, like, oh, I thought you'd be taller.
No, that's happened to me a couple times. Like, but more so, I think I've only had like 1 or 2 people recognize me in the park, and actually, it's been more so that I've been with other people and they've gotten recognized, and they're like, okay, bye. And Kay and I are the same height. Awesome, Kay, I love it. Like I was with Nate from Paging Mr. Morrow back in March, and Nate got stopped like a couple times, and seeing Nate get to interact with all of his, I don't want to call them fans, but just like people that watch his right. YouTube channel, is so cool. But Zip is short too. Actually, I'll have to post a picture of me, Patrick, PJ, and Nicole, because I look really short in that picture. It's on my Instagram. And then there's like a picture of me looking like I'm PJ's height. PJ's like 8. So, and it's so sad to me because I feel like time moves so quickly, because this is literally a year ago that I got to meet all these awesome people. And I'm going to see, like, this was a year ago, like a day ago. And there I am next to Patrick and Dan and Donna and Richard and Sam. And Sam was already dressed up for the Halloween party. And yeah, so many awesome people. And then the same day I met Steve and Ryan from the Shep family, and Dave, and that's from that picture too.
So it was funny. It's like when you see the this and that guys. I mean, Steve looks like a giant. Steve is a giant, yeah. And I thought Ryan. How tall is Shep?
They're all like, Ryan is just like a little bit shorter than Steve. They're all kind of around the same height, except for Patrick. Patrick's just a little bit shorter.
I had met Dave before.
If you see them, they all kind of look like the same height.
The one that you can tell is tall is Marie's husband, Chris.
Oh yeah. And then also Juan is over here, and Juan's like 6'7". So I was like, oh, there's our Disney Adventures. I don't know if you know ODA, but they definitely they stand out because of him. So and then that same day, I feel like I'm reminiscing. This is such a reminiscing stream, because this was all when everyone was so excited to go and see Galaxy's Edge for the first time. Everyone went a few days early, and then I had started my school semester, and so I had to miss a few of the days that they were there. And then the hurricane came, and everyone left early, so I never got to meet Pete. And I know Pete is still upset about that, because Kelly came to meet me, and I missed the Beverly Challenge. And don't bring up Kelly.
Oh my God, Pete posted a question the other night to Donna with me and Kelly in it, and we were sitting watching it. I was so embarrassed.
Listen, every time.
But I lost to Kelly. That's all I gotta say is I lost to Kelly.
I mean, I think we know about Kelly and all the ladies that Mama Mouse has talked about, and I think that's enough to say. But I'm Pete. You'll have to let me know Pete, I want to know what kind of questions you're going to ask me, because I'm nervous, and I'm nervous. Period. So I'm sure we'll hear about that story coming up with Kelly. But Kelly came to meet me at with Mama Mouse, and I guess he didn't tell Pete that, and Pete was like, oh, we didn't get to meet Meg this time, and then Kelly was like, no, we did. We went to Magic Kingdom and we saw her. But that same day that I met all of those amazing people, you could go back and see the live stream.
That was 1 year ago this week.
What?
That was 1 year ago this week.
It was so sad how fast time goes. Oh yeah. But Dan has a live stream on his channel. And he just says, oh, look at those 2 people running in the rain. And then the next second, is just me and my mom taking our our ponchos off, and I'm like, Dan, and he's like, oh my gosh, because I saw Dan went live, and I was in the building next to him, and it was like a downpour, and I said, Mom, let's go surprise Dan, because Dan is one of the first people that I met, and there will be Ryan makeout questions. That's not good. But yeah, we went to go surprise Dan because Dan had no idea that I was there. I had no idea that Dan was there, and it just ended up being really funny. And then I knew that I was going to meet up with Ryan and Dave and Steve. Patrick was with his family for a little bit. We can make a drinking game for when you're in the hot seat. Take a drink every time you blush. So I'm just going to throw this out here. I already have like rosacea, so my face is already pretty red to start off with. But then when it's hard for me to explain because it's one of my pet peeves. I only have a few pet peeves. And this is not even a Disney stream anymore. This is more of like a rant.
Are you blushing now?
No. Feel free to chime in anytime you want. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone leaves an empty toilet paper roll in the bathroom. Like, why do that? I don't like that. Anyway, another one is when someone is obviously answering or talking about something embarrassing, and then your face gets really red, and people are like, oh my gosh, they're blushing. And then I blush more because I'm like, people know that I'm embarrassed. And then my face gets redder and redder, and then people are like, wow, you're really embarrassed. So maybe if that happens, which inevitably it will, maybe we don't mention that my face is blushing. You could take a drink anytime you want, but just maybe for Sunday.
I've never had no secret about my Fireball, that I like Fireball, so that could be a dangerous game if we play that when we're on the hot seat.
You definitely could, and I have a feeling that I will also be not answering a lot of questions.
Yeah, man, like you're way too sweet to answer some of those questions. I should be like, no.
Listen, I almost did that with Donna, and I was like, Donna, like, I did not want to hear those answers from Donna. I'm like, no, you're like my mom. I would not want to hear those answers from my mom.
Donna was a hoot. That was funny.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how far Pete could push me.
Yeah, nothing. It'd be hard to top Kelly and Mama Mouse, but
I don't think we'll ever get another one like that.
I literally was like, I had to watch it the next day, Monday, and like we took a break from working, like at the house, and like I had like a cup like that, took a sip, and like I know, I did the
same thing. I've done that several times actually, watching Pete's streams, and it's just like, and it's just because I'm laughing so hard. It's awesome. Lisa said she'll drink in silence. Well, Ryan will drink with you. So
I will have a concoction with you.
Nice. You guys could all do it. Maybe I'll even do it. I'll prepare for that evening.
Yeah. The thing is, Meg, dude, do not have too many before you get on there and be tipsy where you answer everything.
No, that won't happen. Although I'm, like I said, because I'm not a very big person, I definitely like if I do have a drink, I'll have like half a drink and I'll have to stop because yeah. Because that happens. And that's why I like my fuzzy tauntaun, because it doesn't do that to me, and I could just go and enjoy. I could have the whole thing and then just enjoy Galaxy's Edge.
My wife and I always laugh because like I always bring up whenever you have a fuzzy tauntaun, it'd be fun to go to Oga's Cantina and have a fuzzy tauntaun with a significant other, so that when your lips go numb and you can start making out. And like, it's just like, did you feel that? I didn't feel that. That was fun.
That's definitely an interesting concept. And I think that when we create Steve's dating show, Find Steve Love or Disney Dates with Steve, whatever the title is, it's still in the works. Steve will have to take a date to Oga's Cantina, and then they could test that out. So Steve, if you're ever watching this back, or I'll just send you a message, we'll let you know.
You know what you could do is you could blindfold Steve, have him take a fuzzy tauntaun and kiss the girls or the dates, and tell them who he kissed. Ask them. Okay, now you need to tell us who you just kissed.
Yeah, or who's the best?
Who is the best kisser? Yeah, with all the numb lips.
Yeah. Hey Max, welcome. Yeah, I feel like Any experience with the fuzzy tauntaun is pretty cool, no matter what it is. I mean, I think that drink is 100. And then to also go out and experience, like the last time we went to Oga's Cantina, we did it. Let's find his mini to go with his shirt. Yes. And as Steve was saying that yesterday, I feel like instead of a pair of ears, we need to give out the I'll be your mini shirt. Like that's got to be for the ladies instead of the enchanted rose or, you know, whatever it is. It needs to be that. But the last time we went to Oga's Cantina, it was like maybe 6 o'clock or so. And so Galaxy's Edge was just starting to get dark and the lights were so beautiful. And then to get to visit the Millennium Falcon and just see all the lights. And then we went over to Fantasmic and it was just so cool. Do you like that show, Fantasmic?
Yes.
Oh, it's like one of my
I do. We've seen it one time though.
Only like, one time?
Yeah, and actually I didn't know that was really back there until I mean this was before like Hollywood Studios really had Slinky Dog or like you know, it had like a lot of rides that would attract you to Hollywood Studios, and we were like, it was like in between trips and watching like a Resort TV, and they go back there a lot and do that show, and so we were like, oh, I gotta go do that. I mean, I just didn't know it was even back there, but I do like that show.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden away.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Lauren. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. That is like absolutely one of my favorite shows. Do you have a favorite nighttime show in Disney?
Ooh, I would say what was the old the fireworks show? Is it Illuminations that just left?
Oh yeah, in Epcot.
Epcot, that probably was my favorite. I've seen the new one that they have now. I guess the temporary one.
Yeah, Epcot Forever.
I loved Illuminations.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, it's okay.
What's your favorite? Is it Fantasmic?
I absolutely love Fantasmic and Happily Ever After. Those are so close. I don't even know which one would be the winner. I feel like Fantasmic would probably win, but I mean, I do love Happily Ever After too. Lauren says Wishes. Yeah, let us know, everyone in the chat, your favorite nighttime show.
Happily Ever After, it's awesome. I do love the fact that at Magic Kingdom, like it is fun to stand in front of the castle and see all that goes on, but like how you can just be anywhere really in the park at Magic Kingdom and kind of see the fireworks from a different angle. Yeah. And you can get like kind of a different experience each time. Like we always enjoy doing that. I think Corey kind of got us onto that. We've seen it a couple times over there by the Liberty Bell, the boat. Yeah. And I know Corey likes to, you know, kind of wander around and end up there and get that like a reflection off the pond. And
but it's also so nice because wherever he goes, he also likes to kind of go over by Be Our Guest as well. But he never, you know, well, you know, before COVID happened, he would never run into any crowds. And if you're on Main Street or anywhere near the castle, first of all, if you're streaming, the hub is not a good place to go if anyone plans to do it in the future, because they absolutely like just cut out Wi-Fi there because the fireworks are run on Wi-Fi. And you will have no luck. Your stream will die. So and thanks so much, Max. Yeah, I like my Oogie Boogie ears too. I'm very proud of them. But Corey moves around and he's not like, I sometimes get really overwhelmed by the amount of people that try and squish into areas, which once again is probably not an issue right now, but before it was an issue and people would just like get so close on Main Street. Hey, Isaac, welcome. And so I just, I would do any other place for Happily Ever After. I've seen it from Tomorrowland. I've seen it from Frontierland. I've seen it from Fantasyland. And I've seen it. Have you ever been to the Contemporary or Top of the World Lounge?
No, not the Top of the World Lounge. We went in sat on the level at the Contemporary right below where the monorail comes in, into the Contemporary. And there's that little, they've got like seats there and like, and we've done that. But I'm with you on crowds. You and I are a lot alike in that respect.
Introvertedly extroverted.
Well, if there's just a big crowd, you're just like, I'm not going to get in that.
Yeah, definitely.
My only regret though with that was when we were down at Disney World one time for New Year's Eve, and we were at Epcot, and it was about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I mean it was getting heavy in there, and I was just like, I can't take this. Like, I mean, it's just kind of like, I mean, it was just you could only walk one way around the world, and then so we went back to the resort and hung out there, and I think we watched somebody's live stream do it, and it was just like, and I just wish I could have just like hung with it and stayed with the crowd, because I mean that just looked like an amazing party.
I've seen the live streams from New Year's Eve. I don't know if I could like take that overstimulation of so many people, so many, lights being, shot everywhere and all the music. But it seems so cool on a live stream where, I could stay far away.
Yeah, I hate to say I kind of did it. Like, I was there, but I left. That, I mean, that's just a regret. I'll go do it again. But it's funny. Like I sometimes I have anxieties about crowds and like or I have like a little bit of a claustrophobic. I just hate being like pinned up into where I don't have an exit. It's just something I have, and I get like a little bit of anxiety about it. And it was just kind of like it was bugging me out a little bit, just like how many people, like you couldn't move. And it was just you really, like, it was so crowded that you weren't really in control of you moving. Like you had to move, like you had to go forward, like you couldn't go off to the side. Like people were standing on like I remember in Norway, people were like standing on rocks and on top of the wall, like where the bathroom area was and everything, and just being like, what do we do? Like it just wasn't fun. And but like when it came around 11 o'clock and you could be up there around like the DJs and some of the parties, like that would, like, I mean, I regret not doing it.
You also have to do, what's best for you. And I do know that some people, myself included, really struggle with crowd anxiety. So there are times that I'm perfectly okay with it. And then other times, like, with anxiety, which is, natural, it happens like at the drop of a hat. And it's like, oh, you're really anxious now, so you got to leave. And so I'll just like excuse myself from whatever situation I'm in. I'm like, well, I gotta leave this line, or, it hits you kind of at the weirdest times. So sometimes I could tolerate it, but I don't think I could tolerate it for New Year's Eve. And then we have a couple people in the chat that say, Lisa says she's only seen Happily Ever After online and it brings her to tears. Yes, it brings me to tears every time. It's so good. And that Hercules
is really good.
And then Isaac said, I've watched Happily Ever After in Frontierland and Main Street, which is super awesome. And then Lauren says, I wonder what Magic Kingdom's 50th will look like next year. And that's something that I'm very excited for. And I hope that everything that they have planned can still happen despite all of this craziness going on in the world. I hope that they really can still do whatever they have planned. I want them to go through with it. So we'll see.
So, but you said you have a trip planned right now, like a tentative?
So we were supposed to go down for the wine and dine, but I don't know. That turned into a virtual race, and I didn't want to pay so much for a virtual race. And we still have a hotel booked. We had like 2 nights booked. So I don't know. We'll see. I still am kind of. We were talking a little bit about, do you plan your trips like fully? Like Steve is, laminate everything, plan everything. But now more recently, he's been pretty laid back. But my mom and we've booked trips like a week before, and we just like showed up at Disney. So I'm kind of looking at maybe if I could just like sneak down, a weekend or for some days. And I see Nate's here too. Hi, Nate. He says, I've got hidden spots to hide from crowds in every park that I use because I get anxious in crowds as well. Yeah, Nate, I feel like that's why we're friends too, because I feel like all of us have some sort of anxiety of being in theme parks, but we love theme parks so much that we just need to.
When I was 17, 18, 19, 20, like I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I'd gotten in a mix and like held my own, but it's just like, I mean, I'm 40 years old, and like I don't want to, like, you just get to that age where you're like, I just don't want to be smushed up against people, like, in crowds anymore, like, and bopped around. I mean, it's just
especially now, I'm like, ew, don't touch me. Even before, I'm like, don't touch me.
It's just like when you go to concerts, like, you know, when like when I was your age,
you're like a mosh pit.
I'd gotten on the floor, and now I see if I can get some friends together and we get a suite, you know, like we'll watch it from up here.
Yeah, that's nice. And then also Walt is here from Mousecog. Hi, Walt. Walt has been doing some awesome live streams. Just incredible from the park. Lauren's saying you don't really have to plan crazy now for your trips because there's no fast passes, which helps. Exactly.
Well, there's no fast passes, and you can't park hop. So like you don't have to like plan like this is where we're going to do this, and then I'm going to, like Steve and I were talking about that the other way. Like it's actually kind of nice to kind of, and he was telling me kind of backstage. It's actually kind of nice to go down there where you don't have to like think about like, well, I'm going to get my 3 fast passes here, use those up. I'm going to go to this park and try to do ones after the other, and I mean, it's just it gets exhausting. I mean, but
I love it though.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, it's fun, but it's like when we're going down here in a few days, the parks close early, and like you can relax a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think that's the nice thing as an annual pass holder and someone that has gone to Disney so many times, you know, which are a lot of us in this Disney community. Either, you know, people live down there, which a lot of you guys in the chat live in Florida or pretty close to the parks, or you go down there a few times a year if you're an annual pass holder. And we don't have to do that all the time. Like sometimes it's really nice just to lay low and do experiences that you haven't already done. Like I still have 3 reservations booked for November. And of course, I love the Halloween decorations. So I would love to go during Halloween, even just on Halloween. That would be awesome.
I hear that they're putting those up September 15th,
I think. Yeah. I think. And then I also heard that adults can dress up because the Halloween party isn't happening. And so obviously my favorite holiday, things that I love to do. I think
sounds like a long weekend, Meg.
It really sounds like I need to go. And I really want to so badly. I look at different hotels like every day and I'm like, or like even camping or, you know, renting an RV. My mom and I have looked at doing that and doing other things. Just
that does look cool.
Oh, I wish I could do that. Lisa says, I'm looking forward to just walking around and riding something as I come to it in October. That's going to be so exciting. I can't wait for your trip. Oh my gosh. I'm super jealous. Like Ryan's going so soon and I'm so jealous.
Yeah. I don't think we would be going if our annual pass hadn't like rolled over into this time period. So like that definitely was like helped push us over the edge, but it's we're excited. Like, and it's one of those things like, you never know like where your comfort level, like with everything that's going on and whatnot. But you know, you hear like, I've heard Steve and I've heard Resort TV, like they have their limitations of things that they're comfortable doing and not comfortable doing. And it's kind of fun it's kind of nice to hear that from a perspective of somebody who does have those limitations. Hello. But you know, and like I know that there's times when they feel like they don't want to go to Disney Springs because it's so busy, but like that's one of the things that I guess we're curious about going down there and seeing and just like where, like, okay, like when you stand in front of Magic Kingdom and you're about to walk in, you're just like, you know, we're going to find out how comfortable we are really quick.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've heard everybody says is like it'll surprise you like how safe they make you feel.
I think for me, it's more of, you know, I live on the East Coast and I'm used to not being in like 1,000-degree weather all the time. Although it has been pretty hot this summer, you know, it's hard for me to be in a mask all day. And I think that's probably what I'm most concerned about. And Lauren, and if Nate too, if you're still in the chat, if anyone has been to Universal, I know Lauren's been to Universal, I know Nate has too. I would love to hear your experience about Universal because I've heard different things about, you know, getting there and people following, you know, rules and regulations and things like that. But I'm sure that's going to be at any park or any store that you go to, regardless of if it's a theme park. Like people in all the stores up here, you know, sometimes they don't wear their masks correctly or whatnot. And it's like not my business. But I think anywhere you go, people are not going to follow any rules, even if it's just about masks or, you know, people don't follow rules in general. But I would love to hear more about people's experience at Universal because I didn't know that you didn't need a reservation, which is really cool. And I'm also an annual pass holder at Universal. So Lauren said it was great. I went last Thursday. I recommend the hands-free fans you can wear on your neck. Ooh, I have one of those. That's good. I like that advice.
Is that the one where they you sit right here and like kind of blow off?
Oh yeah, you could get one of those. I have one that's like kind of like a necklace, and it just like sits there on my neck. And
walking around with one of those handheld fans is like that's a must.
Yeah, I've never gone to Disney in like the dead of summer, like in July or the beginning of August, but I have been there for Labor Day weekend a couple times, and boy, is it hot! It's so hot.
Yep.
It's so hot.
Well, pray for us.
Like, I don't know how you guys live down there. I feel like that's one of the big things of why I can't live in Florida, at least right now, is just the heat. I'm not a heat person. I don't like the heat. I like snow and I like the fall. And I just, anytime I get down there and I see all my friends having so much fun, I was like, oh, I wish I could hang out with everyone. And then I get down there, I'm like, oh, this is why.
I can totally see you, Meg, like on a Saturday morning with your like big cup of coffee that's like Minnie Mouse polka dotted and just being like, the leaves are changing.
Yes, the fall is my favorite season. I swear, like it could be January and I'd be like, oh, what am I going to be for Halloween this year? I just love it. I look forward to it all.
Do y'all have a Renaissance festival up by you?
No, and I wish we did because I would totally go.
We have an amazing one down by us, and it's not happening this year. Like so they have it for 2 months for October and November for I guess what 10, 11 weekends, and it makes me sad that they're not having it, but I understand. But it's I love Renaissance festivals.
I know there's so many things I feel like that are being canceled. I mean, for obviously for good reason, but it's sad that like you have these traditions and you do them every year. And like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is part of my tradition now. And obviously this year it's not going on, but I would love to still be able to dress up and go to Disney, Magic Kingdom, especially. Oh, I want to do that.
What would you dress up as this year?
I don't know. I have something coming up that I want to see if Steve is going to be down for. We'll see. I'll have to run it by him for some makeup. We'll see. And it's hard because I feel like I'm running out of costumes that I want to do. But I told Dan on Saturday that I would totally be Matt, the radar technician from SNL. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a radar technician. I would totally be him. I would love to be a character from the Haunted Mansion, any of them. You know, I've already done the Tightrope Walker, so not her, but literally any of the other ones. And I'm trying to think who else I would want to be. I tend to go towards like villainous kind of characters.
Well, you did say last night you pull for the bad guys, right?
I do. I like the bad guys. I don't know if that's good or bad. I also said I don't know what that says about me, but I like the villains. I like the bad guys. So
yeah.
Let's see. Lauren says, I've seen people at Disney doing the same. They have cast members and team members that are telling them to pull masks up. Plus they have the rest areas, but I can't do all that either. Yes, I've definitely heard of the rest areas where you could take a break and take your mask off. And I have not seen the Kylo Ren wig, but I have seen short blonde wigs that I could easily pull off. Matt, the radar technician. And I have never been the redhead from Pirates. So that's also a good one. I wish I could get that dress from the dress shop. I think that would be really cool. I wish I could.
10 for 10.
Oh, yes. It would be so cool to be a pirate. But
so I got a good villain question for you.
Okay. Yes.
Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix? Who was the better Joker?
Is this even okay? Who do you say?
Heath Ledger.
Oh my gosh, Karki, missing something? You found it. Welcome. I love it. Yes, I'm 100% down for Heath Ledger. You know, I don't want to say coming from the world of mental health, but a lot of you guys know that I got my master's degree in counseling. And I feel like it was, I didn't like the way that it was portrayed in the new Joker movie. I feel like it was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like idolizing or anything like that, but maybe romanticizing the idea of mental illness. I don't know. It just was weird to me. And I mean, it was a good movie. It was really well done, but it was really creepy and sensationalizing. That's a good word too. I just felt like, I don't know, I didn't like the way that it was portrayed. That's just me. I mean, I know everyone really, really liked that movie. I really liked Heath Ledger's version of the Joker more, but once again, that's me.
Yeah, I wish, and I'm sure there's probably stories out there, but like I have to believe that he was presented with that character, and like the writers and the directors met him, or he met the writers and directors 50-50. Like it was part of the writing, part of the directing, but then the other half was like Heath Ledger being like, do you mind if I bring this to it? Or I see where he could have created a lot into that character that they bought into, because I mean he was an amazing actor.
I feel like we could totally have an all stream Batman talk, because Batman the Animated Series is one of my favorite shows, and especially because it created one of my favorite characters, which is Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn is so awesome. And I actually really prefer the animated characters versus live action films. But we were just talking before the stream started as well. Like I'm so excited for the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, and then we like sprinkled some Twilight talk in there, but because you always gotta have some Twilight talk. And honestly, I don't know why Twilight gets as much hate. I feel like we can also have a Twilight stream because it gets so much hate, and I don't know why. And I know Steve likes Twilight as well, which I don't know if that's surprising, but
yeah, I had Twilight through my wife, like pounded into me, like just from watching it like every other week, or like it's on TV all the time. So like whenever it's on, so like I'm a fan. I mean, like just because I've seen it so much, and I can be in the other room and just like start quoting the lines. But yeah, it's a good movie. It entertains me. I like it.
I like it. I really like the books. So
she's reading. Yeah, she's reading. I think I told you backstage. She's reading that new book, Midnight Sun.
Yeah, it came out just a couple weeks ago. Right? I finished it already. So
that's definitely cool. It's I think it's a book from his perspective.
Yeah, she actually started it a long time ago, and someone leaked one of her drafts on the internet, maybe like 10 years ago or something. I think it was supposed to come out. She was working on it when she was writing New Moon. And someone leaked it on the internet, and then she was like, listen, that's a huge invasion of my privacy, and I no longer want to pursue this anymore. I will not release it. And it took her about 10 years to continue working on it, and she said it was like a side project, and she released other books while she was working on it, but now vampires shouldn't sparkle. Well, you never know. And also, Patrick, welcome. He said Jack Nicholson. Not to age myself, but Jack Nicholson is good in pretty much anything, I feel like. So
man, Jack Nicholson was outstanding as the Joker. That was a great movie too. I remember seeing that in the theaters. Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
He's so scary as the Penguin. Like when I think of Danny DeVito, I think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is like the complete opposite of him as the Penguin.
Yeah, I can't even recall like right now thinking about like when George Clooney was it, or Val Kilmer, or I don't think I saw the ones with Ben Affleck as Batman, but yeah, it's what's his name that does the Batman, or had done the Batman before Robert Pattinson. Remind me.
Well, that's
Christian
Ben
Bale.
Affleck.
Christian Bale, right?
Oh, Christian Bale. Yeah. Well, Ben Affleck was, before Robert Pattinson, and then Christian Bale. Yeah. Lauren, right? The new Batman trailer looks so good. That's what we were talking about before the stream started. But that's why I know Dean is planning on having like a week of people just talking about movies and different things like that in October. And so obviously I asked if I could talk about Lord of the Rings because I love Lord of the Rings. But I would also really love to talk about Batman. So maybe I could do 2 streams or other streams like that. I would love to have different guests on to talk about, like, I just love movies. And I think that's also what got me so into Disney. I don't know about you. Well, have
you ever done a Joker makeup?
I've been Harley Quinn for Halloween before. I really want to do the Joker and Harley Quinn makeup with Steve, and I've been asked. We were going to do it in February for when the emancipation of whatever one Harley Quinn, whatever that name is, the movie, the Harley Quinn movie. And, then COVID hit and everything just happened. So maybe one day I think we could do it. Lauren says I volunteer.
2020 got in the way of everything, didn't it?
Yeah. Suicide Squad version. So from the comic or from the movie Suicide Squad? Because I don't think I could pull off that costume. Anyway, it is 7:30. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Oh, Corey came in and said, na 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 Batman. So Corey, thank you for that ending. I love it. Corey, I cannot wait to see. I hope you're going to the Food and Wine Festival. We'll see. Corey streams on Thursday nights, typically around 6 o'clock. So be sure to check out his stream. But he also goes live like randomly as well. So check out his channel. And check out Ryan McDowell's channel here because he, I believe, is going to start streaming soon. We're just waiting.
Yeah, no, it's I was going to say the wife and I do have an Instagram page. We call it Expedition Hoppers, and it's about our Disney travels and whatnot. So they can check that out if they want to. I'm not trying to plug anything, but it's something where we post a little bit more Disney than anything else.
Awesome. Yeah, so everyone check out that Instagram and go subscribe to Ryan McDowell because he's going to start streaming soon.
Yeah.
Oh, am I? They haven't told me where I'm going yet. I love it. I love you guys are always so secretive about your live streams too, and it makes me wonder. I'm like, where are they going to be today? I like the surprise though. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Be sure to check out Patrick next week at 6:30 because Patrick is coming back. He's going to be live streaming. Baseball season is over. He is enjoying some well-deserved time with his family right now. And Patrick, we love you. We hope you're having fun on your vacation. Buddy. And I think Nick is probably still live over at Epcot, so go check him out. Jim is going live right now from More Sunshine, Please. Walt and Melissa are going live from Mouse Talk at 8 o'clock. And then Lake Buena Visitors are going live tonight. And who else goes live? The Viapre Project goes live. So many channels tonight.
Tuesday night's a hot spot.
Yeah, Tuesdays are hot, hot, hot. So I'm sure we will see you around in one of these other live streams. And thanks everyone so much for being here. We will see you all real soon.
Enjoy the chat, Meg.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. It was so much fun to have you. And thanks.